So, last time we left off on this elevator, and today we're going to cover Brinstar cleanup down to probably Meridia entry is my plan. So, yeah, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I want to say before we get started, but I don't think there is, so... Alright, so when you get to the bottom of this elevator, you want to be holding jump and right to do an auto buffered spin jump to the right instead of just running right, because of the turn animation thing on elevators that we've talked about before. And then you want to immediately turn left and do a moonfall, and then immediately morph off the right side of this elevator. The reason you want to morph earlier is because if you end up morphing later, basically, so you know how when you're moonfalling, if you turn in a non-spin, Samus sort of floats. The same thing applies to when she morphs. And so if you wait to morph, it actually, one, it makes it harder to do what you need to do here, and two, it kind of pauses your fall speed, so you end up falling slower. So you want to morph immediately off this elevator. Move back to the left. There are these blue dots in the background. Right here. Right here. So I align with those, with these blue dots in the background. Okay. And then I don't know if I have like a visual cue for this. I probably do. And it's just so like natural to me that I just know when. But basically after you pass this right here, that's when you want to move right. Just a little bit. Just want to move a little bit to the right. And that way you won't land right here. Though landing there might not be the worst. Oops. Never actually tried this. No, you don't want to do that. So you want to move to the right, and then lay your power bomb generally at this level or below. Okay, that will break the floor right here. Roll off to the left here, unmorph, aim down, and shoot down. That will kill this Zila, which helps with lag reduction. There is a lag reduction strat here where you can like do this sort of a thing. Something like that. But I've found that the lag reduction actually doesn't offset as much as what I mentioned earlier about it pausing your fall speed if you morph later. And the lag reduction strat is a lot harder to do, so yeah, I just roll off. So drop your power bomb, roll off, aim down, shoot down, kill the Zila, and then you actually want to shoot down twice here. The second shot will break this block right here. And the reason that we want to shoot down earlier rather than later is so that the shot is already off of the screen or moving off of the screen when the power bomb explodes. Because if you have a bunch of shots on screen as the power bomb is exploding, that's going to cause more lag. See that? And so we want to get our shots off screen as quickly as possible. From there, jump, aim down, and do a quick drop fall through the breaking blocks, like this. See, you don't want to shoot again. As long as the floor is broken there, you don't want to shoot anymore after that, because it'll cause a bunch of lag. Fall down through the hole. You'll land on this platform right here, and then you want to immediately do another moonfall down here. You can shoot down to automatically open this door for you. Basically, when you're falling, I align to the left of these blue dots right here. That way I know that I am going to clear this. Not going to bonk here. And as long as you're shooting down to the left of these blue dots, they should hit the door, especially if you're just a teeny bit further left there. Okay. Make sense? Hope that makes sense. Last thing that I will mention is that you want to jump through this door. There's two reasons that you want to jump through the door at the bottom. One, I believe it will fix the door, and two, it kind of optimizes the way that we can move through the room with the B-toms, so. Also, you want missiles selected as you jump through the door. Alright, these B-toms are kind of a pain. They're going to do different things depending on how high or how low in the door you are as you come through, and also how much speed you have. So it's kind of hard to, like, normalize it completely. But, that is the goal. We do want to try and normalize this as much as we can. Basically, you can just spam missiles. There's a few different ways to do it. Obviously, we want to get through the room as quickly as we can, but keep in mind, if you have a B-tom on you as you come through the door, it might cause extra processing time on the door, so that was a 52 frame transition. And with no B-toms, we get a 42. Okay. So that's a 134 with a 42. This is a 127 with a 72. So you do want to prioritize not having B-toms on you, if possible. $129 with a 66. 135 with a 54. All right. You do also want to be as far left here as possible when you run through. Not to the point where you should like stop and reset or whatever. But being farther, sorry, not farther left, farther right on this ledge is better because it gives you more run speed coming in here, which can give you a better entry into this next room. So you see how Samus was like still horizontal entering this door? That is exactly what we're looking for. That's like optimal right there. If you have less run speed, sometimes you're gonna struggle to even like be making it through the door before you activate the transition. So in this room, my cue to shoot the super missile is on this blue thing in the background right here. Shoot. 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 Okay. As long as you keep running forward, it'll hit every time. And then my cue for where to jump, this one's a little bit more risky, but it's on this blue. It's on the right side of this blue thing in the background. This tile to the left of where Samus is standing is the tile that she falls. So it is a bit more risky. If you want to be safe, just make sure that you're jumping before the blue thing and you'll be totally fine. But ideally, we do want to still be jumping through this door. You might see some people do this sort of a thing where they mock. That's not bad necessarily, but it's not optimal either. We can wall jump check this super and make it back out. So let's break this down. So if we mock, it's a 239. If we jump, just run and grab it. That's a 228. If we do a downturn, that's a 220. And if we can pull off the wall jump check, it's a 215. I think I've had like a 210 as well. So just jumping straight over this energy tank and through the door is definitely better than doing a mock here when you have speed booster. So that's kind of the strat that we're going for. If you do fall in this hole, like let's say that you shoot and you're trying to do the jump, but Samus falls, you actually want to push, like, you want to repress jump before she's gonna land, and that will actually buffer her jumping out. It's not free by any means, but like, rather than like trying to time it super specifically for when you see that she lands on the crumble, you can just press it kind of early, not super early, just a little bit early, and that will buffer her jump back out. Basically, just don't panic. If you panic, this sort of a thing's gonna happen. Oh no! Okay. Alright. See, so now I'm pressing it late. There we go. Alright. Hold shoot out of this. Switch to power bombs. And then hold shoot out of the transition, out of the fanfare. That will make Samus automatically land and shoot the door open. Run forward, grab the energy tank, just run off here, aim down, and turn to the left to get a quick drop. Okay. And then you want to do a soft morph on the floor right here. Immediately roll to the right, and then there's a few different ways you can do damage boost through this room. I'm just going to talk about what I've found most consistent for me, but like I've seen people jump up here and then boost. This is what I do in RBO when I don't have high jump, for example. I've seen people do a boost right here. But what I like to do, I run forward into the spikes right here, and then I jump and I do a damage boost. My first boost I initiate above the left side of this platform, so on the spikes right here. Boost. That'll land you over here on this platform. You can turn right before morphing. I just have found that it makes it harder to do the soft morph there. But Hoda Ruby's right, that'll actually save a couple frames if you do that. Get out of here, Behemoth! I have the #1 seed in the tournament. I have authority. I know what I'm talking about. Alright? Yeah, Hoda Ruby's actually right. You should turn right. See how I suck at it? It'll save you a couple frames, though. I should start doing that. Alright, so I run off, boost. Land here. And then when I jump for the next boost, I fire a shot. And I hold that. And what that does is it makes it so that when Samus lands, she'll fire another beam. Like this. And if you do it right, / if you're lucky, it will open the door for you. Okay. The other key here. Here, let's save state right here. Gosh dang it! Shouldn't have done that anyway. The other key here is that you want to be doing some, if possible, some of the lower boosts right here, and on that last one. And/or on that last one. So on this first one, basically, you want to wait. You want to have a stationary D-pad when you hit the spikes, and then you want to push back. On these next ones, you want to be holding left when you hit the spikes. That will give Samus a forward boost, which will boost her downward, and will help with the positioning. Getting through the rest of this room. By the way, this room freaking sucks, and anybody who says otherwise is apparently way better at this game than I am. But boosting through this room optimally is really hard. It's way harder than it probably looks. It's actually easier to boost through this room optimally when you don't have high jump. Ironically, you can get a faster time in this room if you come down here in like RBO, for example, than you can with speed and high jump. At least from what I remember. If you end up boosting like into one of these gaps, don't panic. That does happen, but the worst thing you can do is like panic and just keep like bouncing down. Like, it's basically, if you panic, you're gonna lose like multiple seconds in this room just because you're trying to go like too fast. Can't be a mod with a sub. Fine, BE. The heck, man. But yeah. I'll like fall down here sometimes, and generally what I'll do is I'll hold forward until Samus takes another hit. And then I'll do a down grab, so like I'll try and show that, but like this. Okay. Oh, mod without a sub. Yeah, BE can't be a mod without a sub, what the heck? Alright. Okay. This room, I count 11 wall jumps right here. That will change depending on how you do your wall jumps, but I count to 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then on my 11th one, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I do a wall jump morph and immediately move to the right to get into this hole. You do want to make sure that you're not doing your wall jumps too fast and small. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or this will happen. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So you want kind of, not like super tall, but taller wall jumps. And it is a little bit slower, but if you're kind of struggling with it, it's much safer to just do that thing. Like this. One of the worst things that can happen, if you like try to do the wall jump morph but you mess up, is this. Because you have to fall all the way back down here and then wall jump back up. Like it's a bad time loss if you fall here. It's, I don't know, 2 or 3 seconds. So just try to focus on not screwing up your wall jumps and optimize once you're comfortable. Alright. You don't want to unmorph early like that, that's bad. Unmorph just as you're about to touch the ground. Run forward, grab the power bombs. You want to do a mock here. That will let you out across the hole. If you don't get a mock, you're going to end up falling. You can technically down back, but it's super hard. There's also apparently like a bomb strat. Yeah. But the recommendation is do the mock ball out of the tunnel. You can lay a power bomb here to reduce door processing time from the Etacoons. The thing is, depending on how you do your wall jumps, it may or may not actually save time. So test it for yourself. Because it kind of depends on where they're at with their cycle and their song. So that was a 42 transition. That was also a 42 transition. But I don't know, that seemed like it was more laggy. I don't know, does the practice round properly measure that? I'm not sure. What I can say is I've seen comparisons both ways where the power bomb did save time and where it didn't. So, just keep that in mind. Also, you don't want to drop a power bomb here if you're low at all. Okay, save state. I missed it! I missed the save state. You just have to watch me wall jump up again. Sorry to waste 5 of your seconds or whatever. Okay. Ledge grab on the right edge of this, and then run through and do a late jump through the door. You want more speed jumping out of this door as opposed to less speed. So like you don't want to do this sort of a thing. And the reason for that is it makes the optimal strat here a lot easier. So you want a late jump Notice how Samus was jumping, but still like very close to the ground there. That's what you want. Like that. Okay. You don't necessarily have to jump. I'll talk about this first. This is the safer strat. So if you don't want to jump through the door, just run through, hold up, jump, and shoot immediately upon exiting. That will open the door directly above us. And then morph and lay a power bomb, which will break these blocks. You can jump up and run through. Okay. There's also a few different ways that you can handle jumping up there. And I'll show those. The optimal strat, and I don't know if I've actually seen anybody else do this way. I kind of tweaked it a few weeks ago. It's hard to do. I've only managed to get it in runs a couple times. Get that jump through the door though. I think that'll be good enough. So, assuming that you jumped through the door, you wanna hold up and jump and shoot coming out of the door. That will buffer a shot upward, so you can hear the door opening. From there, you want to morph and lay a power bomb up next to the ceiling, like this. Then you can actually kill this Zila for lag reduction. Like that. Quickly drop down, do a crouch, and then jump and morph. Morphing also gives lag reduction during the powerbomb explosion. The crouch is important because if you don't crouch, Samus won't jump high enough. See that? So if you crouch, she'll jump high enough to get up here. If you don't crouch, she's not going to quite make it. So just wait until she lands, and then unmorph. You see how much more lag there was there because I failed to morph. I was trying, but you know, I'm bad. Couldn't quite do it. Anyway, that's the fastest way that I've found to do this room. Oops. See, so that was an extra like 30 frames of lag or something because I missed the morph. It's crazy. 20 frames, 25 frames. If you like lose momentum here, which happens to me a lot, that's okay. So you'll drop down right here instead of landing up on this platform. If that happens, what I like to do is don't hold dash here. Run and do a spin jump up against this block and keep holding left. And Samus will automatically spin up into that little hole right here. And then you can just do a wall jump as you see the block breaking. And if you morph from there, it'll give you lag reduction. The main thing is that you want to make sure that you're not unmorphing early, like this, or else you're going to get a bad door transition. There's a 59, where if you wait to land in morph and then run through, you'll get a much better door. It's a 45. So that's kind of the safer way that I do this. If I screw up. Missed the crouch there. Alright. Coming through this door, I hold shoot. I hold shoot and dash and forward and L. The first shot will go straight and kill this guy. Then you can shoot 2 more times. Kill the Zilas. And then you can release angle down and shoot 1 more time. And kill that last, I think they're called Rios. Jump after the blocks, so you don't run and fall through the floor here. Jump. And then upon landing, I shoot 3 times. I don't think you need to shoot 3 times specifically, but you need to shoot more than once. I just shoot 3 times for safety. 1, 2, 3. And then you can do a couple pumps here too if you want. 1, 2, 3. It's really up to you. Just be careful not to land too early, or you might bonk the door, depending on when you shoot. That ended up okay. But yeah, you can definitely bonk the door if you're not careful here. And that frickin' sucks when that happens, so. You want to charge your Shine Spark towards the end of this platform here. If you do it correctly, Samus will run off the edge like this. You can fall all the way down. But if you're too far to the right, that's what's going to happen. That sucks. I think this is actually worse than if you just charge early and do this. I have a queue with this squiggly plant right here. This is where I want to lay the power bomb. I've noticed if you do it to the right of this, it's not going to break all the blocks right here. So you want to be at least on the squiggly plant. And the reason that we're laying it down here in the bottom corner is it also opens this door. Okay. From there, since you have a Shine Spark charged, you want to do a diagonal spark upward. This is one of the rare instances where, despite the crash animation, this is actually faster. And I did like test this, if I remember. Like, for some reason, that hopper's in kind of a bad spot in the practice round, but it usually doesn't do that in vanilla. That was actually slower, surprisingly. But I don't know. Maybe I'll eat my words here. See, that was about the same, but way harder. Anyway, Shine Spark here definitely is not bad. That's for sure. I would say, as long as you do it correctly, it's probably best. Okay, hold left here, but you don't want to hold left the whole time or you'll land on top of the pedestal, which you don't want. I'm all screwed up. collect the missile, drop straight down, then run left and jump off this corner here. No, that's okay. Please don't apologize. Okay. And then for the way that I do this strat, you do not want power bombs selected. I've noticed that I do it differently than most people. So ultimately, this is going to be one of those things where find out what string of inputs works best for you. I'm just going to explain how I do it, and you know, hopefully that gives you somewhere to start. So run, jump off the left corner here. I used to run right actually here for insurance to make sure that I got enough run speed coming in here to do the strat that I wanted. I've stopped doing that because it costs 20 frames. Yeah, it costs like 20 frames. 30 frames, something, but also keep in mind that in the practice ROM, at least as of the time that I'm making this video, Hopper RNG is broken, so they're going to act differently in the practice ROM than they do in vanilla. In this room in particular, it's not that big of a deal, but if, you know, I can explain this in just a minute, but if you're noticing that like things aren't working, but they seem to be working better in runs, that's probably why. So jump off the left corner. Coming through this transition, I hold angle down, sorry Behemoth, and I shoot one wave beam on this first hopper. Then I turn around and do a deboost. You can probably just hold angle down on the D-pad. Yeah, you can. It's no big deal. But yeah, hold angle down and shoot the hopper. Turn right, boost off this right set of spikes. Do kind of a higher boost if possible. You're going to get a higher boost if you're not holding forward, obviously. And then cancel the deboost by releasing jump and turning left as you're passing the left set of spikes and shoot. That will shoot the second hopper with a wave beam. And then from there, I item select twice to super missiles and shoot it again with a super, which will kill it. So these guys will die in one wave beam and one super, or one missile and one super. Alternatively, they will die in 4 missiles, a million wave beams, or 2 supers. So, 1 wave beam, 1 wave beam, 1 super. Okay? Alright. Optimally, from there you want to jump, aim down, shoot your super as you're falling down, fall through the hole, quick drop through the block, quick drop, so you want to be facing right, quick drop to the left, and then hold right and jump out of the fanfare, and that will automatically buffer your jump to help you do the Mission Impossible strat here. Just do a wall jump back up out. What you do not want to do is shoot it like this and then run and quick drop, because then you can't automatically buffer back out. Okay? So if you do want to go slower, that's fine. Obviously, you know, sometimes slower is faster if it's safer for you. Just make sure that you align yourself with the super block, jump, shoot, fall, and do the quick drop. Don't just run into the hole. If you happen to miss the hole like this, just reposition. As far as when to turn left, the timing really isn't that bad. I don't have like a specific visual cue for it. I guess it's just right after the screen starts to scroll. Just make sure that you're aiming down and then turn left a little bit after the screen starts to scroll. It is technically blind, but it's not that hard to time it. Okay. Alright, to finish this off, after I do the wall jump, I select missiles. You can either do that by tapping item select 3 times, or you can be weird like me, and you can move your left thumb off of the D-pad over to select, since I have item cancel on select, and then select missiles. Shoot 3 missiles running forward here. That will kill that hopper. Sometimes in the practice ROM, if you save state later in the door, this hopper is going to end up positioned up here instead. So I'll show that. That should never happen in vanilla, but it will happen sometimes in the practice ROM. And if you don't Doppler your missiles right here, it's not going to die. So that won't be an issue in vanilla, but for the sake of having the room go smoothly in the practice ROM every time, try to make sure that you Doppler your missiles. The door will not unlock until both hoppers are dead. So that's why that's important. And then I used to collect the drop from this hopper by boosting off the 3rd spike. Like this. If I remember correctly, that does cost 20 or 30 frames. This hopper will fairly frequently drop a super missile for you, which is why I used to do it. But ultimately, I decided it wasn't worth it. So now I boost off of the 2nd spikes, and just like on the way in, you want to do kind of a later boost, which will get you that upwards arc up and out through the door. But Zeni, what if I can't do Mission Impossible? What do I do? Well, that's going to change how this flows. I'm not going to talk about the whole flow. You'll just have to kind of piece it together. But in terms of this room, if you decide you don't want to go for Mission Impossible at all, the best thing actually would be to figure out some timing to just run forward, shoot the block out on the floor, select a power bomb. There's probably a visual cue for this. I just never do this, so I don't know. Lay the power bomb up here. That will preemptively activate the gate and break that first block for you. And then you just roll down through here. Jump out the door. Do a quick drop, and then unmorph. to cancel your fall speed and land on this ledge right here. In this case, you're going to collect Spore Spawn Supers first, and then come back up after that and do the Wave Gate Energy Tank. But since we're doing Mission Impossible, we're actually going to do the opposite order. Alright. Coming out of this room, quick drop down to the right through this block. Unmorph, aim down, and shoot 2 missiles. Generally, only one of those is going to connect with a hopper in vanilla. But sometimes the second one will connect and prevent you from having a hopper hit you and slow you down like that. From there, you want a quick drop. I'm aiming down, I turn left, and then I turn back to the right. And then there's 2 different things you can do here. You can be a sane person who does strats that are fast and easy. Or you can be a much cooler person who does strats that are just as fast or slightly faster and super hard but cool looking. I'm going to talk about fast and easy, and then I'll show you why I don't do the other strat. So that's the strat that I do. Basically just shoot, run forward. It's important to kind of time how you do these shots. As I'm falling, I switch to power bombs off of missiles so that I can just spam wave beam. You can also switch off of power bombs, just you don't want to be using missiles here. And then jump forward. Stupid hoppers, man. You want to do a late jump and do a wall jump check through the top of the door. If you do this correctly, you can actually, I believe, get a nearly perfect door transition. That was a 46. I think I've had a 43. But like that. Okay. Thank you for the follow. .44. The other strat that you can do here that I'm really bad at involves a short charge. So basically you have to shoot these Rios and do a short charge at the same time. I'm trying to think of, like, can I even figure out a good way to show this? Why does that keep happening? Alright, so you have a missile. You kill that hopper, and then you open the door and you jump up. Okay. But again, when I timed it, just doing this, it does cost a super, but it's just as fast or faster than doing the other strat. Now, depending on how good you are at each strat, that's going to vary. Also keep in mind that if you're testing this in the practice ROM, notice that in this particular instance, these hoppers are cooperating, where they're jumping low, and you can group all 3 of them and kill them with a super. So you shoot them once, shoot once, and then shoot a super. That'll kill all 3 of them with a super. But if you save state later in the door, notice that one on the right is bouncing high. So you have to kind of wait. And that will happen sometimes even if you don't save state later. Like, so if you're testing this, like if you're timing it, keep in mind that in vanilla, I didn't mean to save state there. In vanilla, they're always going to hop low like that, and you can kill them optimally every time. From there, open the door, make sure that you open it, because it does unlock once the hoppers are dead. And if you don't open it, you're going to have to kill the hoppers again. Wall jump up to the right. I do 2 wall jumps. Angle up, shoot. Morph. Under the gate. And then just do a little hop. And run and jump through the door. Jump through the door? No, don't jump through the door. Just run through the door. Okay. Let me find a video. I'm gonna look for a video here. Good point. Like Giggle said, if you are struggling to morph under the gate, make sure that you're releasing angle up, because if you're still holding angle up, Samus will not morph. I'm gonna have to edit this out. Finding the video, but... So, these results are skewed because the strats aren't executed perfectly, obviously, and I'm better at one than I am at the other. But, this is kind of what it looks like. Okay, so they're very comparable, and depending on how good you are at either one, can go either way. But that is why I prefer the one that I prefer, because it's much easier. And I'm gonna say it's just as fast or faster, but other people have had other results where they say the short charge is slightly faster, etc., etc. So, okay. Thanks again for the host. I really appreciate it. This tutorial is taking longer than I thought it was going to. Glad I have time. I thought I'd have time to do kind of a casual no reset before the qualifier, but doesn't look like we're going to, so that's okay. So jump, wall jump, check this energy tank. Shoot the door, run out the door. I jump off of, like, my cue to jump is off this thing. Jump. Do 1 wall jump up, angle up, shoot. It'll open the gate. Run forward. Just hold forward. You'll bonk on the gate. I select power bombs right here because you're going to be using them in the next room. And then, if possible, so you want to do an angle down shot as you're passing the grapple block. And then you want to turn to the right. And if possible, you want to try and get a D-boost off that hopper out of the door. Sometimes he's going to jump high, and sometimes he's going to jump low. If he jumps high, you're going to end up bonking the wall. That's fine. If he jumps low, you won't. That's nice. Just boost out of the door. And then there's 2 things you can do here. The slightly optimal thing to do, but it's super hard, you can cancel your boost. You still need to boost just a tiny bit, but then you cancel it early, turn left, and you can shoot, and you can kill that Rio, and it'll actually give you lag reduction. I don't bother with that, honestly, because it's super hard, but it is an option. But yeah, just hold your boost out of this door, morph and lay a power bomb pretty much as soon as you can. Okay. The power bomb is going to break open these blocks right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to backdoor into Spore Spawn by breaking this super block. But notice that if you try to shoot the super block from here, the super doesn't connect. Okay, so we need to shoot it from a specific position. So you want to lay the power bomb. After that, I unmorph. I delay just a tiny bit, and then I shoot to the left and kill this Rio. That's for lag reduction, and it also will leave the Rios drop in a spot where you can collect it just by doing the rest of the strat normally. See that? Oop, we got the drop, yay. From there, you want to position yourself on this squiggly plant behind Samus. Okay? I do it so that you can see that, we'll just say that third squiggle down is touching her hip, and then it creates kind of a gap behind her knee. That's my cue. So, and this is not pixel perfect by any means. This is pretty forgiving. So if you shoot your super missile from here, it will connect with the super block, okay? The thing is, the screen isn't scrolled all the way to the right now. And in order for the super to connect with the block, the screen has to be scrolled. So if we just jump and shoot, it's not going to connect, okay? But if we were to scroll the screen, so that it's over to the right, and now we jump and shoot, it will connect. See how the screen shook? The block is gone. So, to compensate for that, since the screen isn't scrolled, what you want to do is you want to jump and shoot and then push right. Make sure you don't push right first, or you're going to Doppler the super and that won't work either. So jump, shoot, and then right, okay? Jump, shoot, right. That'll scroll the screen and it'll break the block. Alternatively, you can do a moonwalk here. It's a little slower. And I am very bad at it personally. But I've seen some people do a moonwalk here. I don't know how they do it though. Like that, I guess. Or maybe they just lay the power bomb. Dude, I don't know. I know that Zos does a moonwalk here. Apparently John does a moonwalk here. It's just so slow, like. Oh, but Zos doesn't moonwalk all the way back to the squiggly. He moonwalks to a different spot that I don't know. Oh, I remember you posting that, Scotty. With both L and R, you can fall against the ledge above, and you fall right on the right pixel. This. So then you just turn. Nope, that didn't work. Can't do it by unmorphing like that. Okay. Well, I don't know how that version of the strat works. I'm not gonna waste your guys' time. But the reason that I like this cue so much is because, and I want to show this. So some of these other cues are like pixel perfect or close to it. This one is pretty forgiving. So basically, as long as you don't have a gap here, it will connect. And as long as there is a little bit of a gap, it will connect. So, I don't know, this is probably 3 or 4 pixels lenience. Like, it's not hard to get in position here whatsoever. So basically anywhere from there will work. It's pretty free. The other thing is if you're coming from the left, so let's say that you fell down from up here, right? Because you missed Mission Impossible. Come over here, you lay a power bomb, and you can just inch forward until you're here and do it, which is also super easy. So, anyway, that's how I like to do this strat. From there, you want to unmorph off the corner, shoot the door open, run forward and do a wall jump check in the bottom half of the door. Preferably not that low, specifically because I'm going to show kind of a cool strat that I found a few weeks ago here. So, if you hold dash and right out of a wall jump check here, and then you shoot at the bottom of the slope, kind of around this round plant, the shot will kill the bug in this right spawner. And as long as you do your jump correctly, you can collect its drop too, without even landing on it. So if you shoot too late or too early, it's going to hit one of the other bugs, like that. But if you time your shot correctly, it will kill the third bug. You can jump across, grab its drop, and then just run through the door, which is super nice. It's not like an extremely common drop or anything, but sometimes these guys will drop you a super. It's always nice to have more supers. So yeah, I really, really like this strat. If you do happen to miss, you can aim down and shoot the bug, or you can just take the hit and run forward. The main thing is you want to make sure that you don't bonk the door like that. So you may want to like pause for a second, like this, and then run forward. You don't usually want to aim down here because that will actually slow Samus's speed. So like it's working for me. But the other thing is that you want to shoot this door earlier so you don't bonk into it, right? And the easiest way to do that is by shooting either farther left or in the air. And if you're aiming down, you can't really do that until after you land, and then you might bonk like that. So that's why I don't like aiming down over here. Alright. Okay. You can just hold a shot coming out of this door. Run forward, grab the super with a wall jump check. Jump back across this gap, select supers, and run out to the left. Very basic room. Another pretty basic room. You want to jump. Keep in mind you do want super selected here, and you do not want to pump or you might fall down these slopes. I did it the first time, anyway. Jump, shoot, speedball. Don't shoot down, that's bad. And don't shoot too high, or you'll miss the door. Gosh dang it, man. If you overthink this room, you're going to do crap like that, so. Switch to a power bomb as you roll through the door, and then lay it immediately after coming out of the door. This is a super block, like we already know, so you have to shoot it with a super. And power bomb breaks these blocks right here. So if you don't use a power bomb, you're going to get stuck. You'll have to use regular bombs, and that's slow. I unmorph and shoot a wave beam immediately, which will kill that Rio. You can stop and wait and collect a drop if you want. It's usually not that valuable. Run forward, do a jump kind of early, not super early. Morph, and then lay a power bomb. My cue, I want the bomb to be below this. So once it kind of juts in, that's where I want my bomb to be. Grab the missiles that we skipped earlier in the run. The reason we're grabbing them now is because we have to wait for the power bomb to break these blocks anyway. So even if the missiles weren't there, like if we grabbed them earlier, we just end up waiting. So that's why we grab these now. And then I time when to run and mock in here. This isn't going to work for everyone, but this works for me. I time it by how long it takes me to reselect back to power bombs. So, and I accidentally did this. I was just always automatically deselecting power bombs after laying this one, and then I'd have to reselect because you have to lay a power bomb right here. And I found that, at least for me, if I wait to start running until after I've reselected them, come on. Dude, can't believe this freaking airball is doing this. Why can't I do this correctly right now? Reselect and then run. It kind of lines up nicely with when the blocks break and you can roll on through. Again, that's just for me. Might not work for other people. Alright, and then you can either lay your power bomb early up here. Not that high. Or you can lay it late down here. I've had better results laying it later, personally. And then you want to do just a short run and mock through this tunnel. Okay. Alright. Here's another moonfall argument. Comes up periodically. You can moonfall here. You can also just roll off. If you roll off, it's definitely better to time your unmorph just as you're coming over the ledge and then do an angle super shot, which is kind of risky. But if you time it correctly, you'll hit the door like that, and then you can run through. If you moonfall, you want to make sure that you do not go for the angle super shot, and that you do the moonfall as quickly as possible. I don't know if anybody was paying attention, but my moonfall got a 1559 on that other instance, and the roll-off got a 1558. So they really are, I mean, one of them might be a couple frames faster than the other, but this is one of those strats that I chalk down to preference. 1557. I think when Hodarubi was doing his theory task thing, he was doing like frame advances, there's a 1549. He went with the non-moonfall, and Behemoth goes with the non-moonfall. But also, if you can eliminate the turnaround, for example, these also aren't the best comparisons because I'm doing this top part every time. But if you can like turn around in Morph Ball and then do the moonfalls, so you don't do the turnaround, like that would help, etc. Missed the mock that time. Also, you know, if you can unmorph and moonfall earlier, or do a quote-unquote forward moonfall, that would make it better. Oops. Anyway. Alright, enough of this. Oh yeah, and you do want to jump through this door. Not a full jump, but you do want to jump through it to fix the transition. See, so that was bad. That was bad transition. But you don't want to just run through, because that will also give you a bad transition. And also, we want to shoot this slug guy. So I shoot as I'm passing right here, these two small flowers, or in between this big fat one and this tall one. With this low of a jump, it's kind of finicky, so you may want to hold jump just a little bit, and then run forward. If we bonk this guy, it's bad news, because you have to like time your shot. You want to be pumping here if possible. Anyway, so you want to kill this guy. And then you actually don't want to pump for the later part of this room, because for whatever reason, it will increase lag. I think it just makes more of the enemies spawn ever, like 1 frame earlier or whatever. So that was 12 frames of lag, where if we don't pump on the later part of the room, we got 9 frames of lag. So pump until you hit the slug, basically. 0, they're called zeros. And then just run forward. You want to jump as you're passing through these blocks, pretty much. And then if you time it correctly, you want to land to the right of the energy tank, not on the pedestal, so that you don't have to fall back off the pedestal when you're coming back. And like usual, you want to grab the energy tank with a wall jump check if you can manage to time that. Okay. On the way back, I shoot between these two fat plants on the ground, and then I jump on this round one right here. It's kind of hard to see. But eventually you'll kind of get a feel for it. I aim down coming through that door. It's not necessary by any means, but on the off chance that you're heading for the middle of the door and you would have bonked, there's a chance that you'll squeeze through if you aim down. So that's why I aim down there. All right. Do ledge grabs here. They're faster than doing a shine spark. I'm not going to show the comparison. They are a little bit harder, but they're faster. Lay a power bomb in between these taller plants, or on this little one. That will break this block. If you lay it to the left, it's not going to reach. So, right here. That was like as far left as it could have been. It still worked. Alright, next. Charge escape clip. Just do that. Easy. Right? Easy. You guys totally saw what I did. No problem. No problem at all. Just kidding. Interestingly, in the past few days, there have been a couple of videos made about this, so... Okay. So, basically, the way that this works is you want Samus to do a spin jump. No. You want to be aiming down when you land on... You guys can't see my my mouse. Hang on. Alright. You want Samus to be aiming down when you land on these blocks right here. Okay? So notice they're aiming down here. That'll put her in a standing position so that her head is kind of in the ceiling here. And then what you want to do while you're still holding down on the D-pad, you want to jump and then immediately push forward. Let's do very slow playback speed. And that will make it so that she ends up in a crouched position, sort of inside of the blocks, okay? From there, you can just jump out. I find it easier to hold forward the whole time after this part. But yeah, so that's sort of how that works. Kill my display capture. I seriously can't believe I can't find that frickin' hitbox clip that I made. But there is another place where I can visualize this for you guys as well, thanks to QD. So I guess we'll do that real quick. I'll just visualize it. And then we will return here. So they're the same vertical space as the charge beam escape. So again, notice that Samus is kind of standing here, right? And if we try to jump from here, she's going to end up crouched, like that. But if we jump while aiming down, oops, if we jump while aiming down, she stays in this standing pose. And if we push forward while she's falling here, and again, it needs to be, you need to push forward like immediately after jumping while she's falling. She'll end up kind of stuck in the floor like this. And from there, you can just jump up and through. Like that, okay? Ironically, this is the same as the wrecked ship clip from Any Percent, where you know, when you're going up to attic. So you can also do a ledge grab if you time it correctly and just jump up through that way. The thing is, because of the way that these blocks are positioned, it won't, like, it doesn't work the same for some reason. Honestly, I wish I could explain exactly why. It just doesn't. So basically, you do need to aim down. All right. So I know you guys couldn't see it, but I was aiming down when I jumped onto these blocks. So now Samus is in a standing position. You can see her arm cannon kind of poking up out of the top. That's how you know she's standing, because if she's crouching, you won't be able to see it. Okay. So she's standing up. From there, you want to still be holding down, jump and immediately push forward, and then jump out. Okay. Personally, I like to do it out of a wall jump like that. So you wall jump off the top right here, and then you swing back to the right and over to the left, kind of around these blocks here that you can't see because frickin' wave beam. So there's a block right there. You want to avoid that block. And then as after you've moved back over to the left, as you can feel that see/feel/whatever that she's falling, that's when you want to aim down, hold down, jump, push forward. Again, push forward very quickly after jumping, and then you can jump through. If you're too far to the right, so if you're just like barely, if you're just barely, I don't know if I can even show this. If you're just barely in there, so she's standing, right? But she's over to the right side. She's actually gonna bonk on the raised part here, even if you do it correctly. So did you see how, like, she tried to jump out, but then she bonked on the block above that one? Right here, she bonked right there. Anyway, I wish you luck. This was one of the last, like, trick strats that I learned for 100% to save time with. Because it's just so weird, like, it's so blind and it's hard to do, so. Alright. Just a couple more rooms. So I jump off, I swing back to the left, I shoot a wave beam, want to be aligned with this over here, and then you run and you can jump through the door. If you hit the ceiling, the door transition isn't going to be optimal, but it's still better than just running through. So hitting the ceiling isn't bad here. There is a slightly more optimal version of this strat that Behemoth found a couple days ago, but it's really hard to do, and for me, at best, it saves like 10 frames. So I'm just going to talk about what I normally do here. So lay a power bomb on the right here. That will open this door so we don't have to open it later. Bounce, and then unmorph as you come off the corner here. Shoot that bug, jump up, do a mock ball to the missiles. Like this. Do not hold left during the transition or Samus will swing all the way over to the right. Oops. So wait, then push left. Have missiles selected. I run off and I hold angle up on the D-pad here. That way I can kill this hopper regardless of what position it's in, whether it jumps high or low. Then I do a spin jump, still with missiles selected. Left, face right, shoot another missile, that'll kill the next hopper. I switch to power bombs and I shoot as I'm running off this corner. Again, you're going to need enough run speed to make this work, so make sure that you swing back left here. And then you want to aim down. That will avoid bonking on these corners. Oops. I hold a charge shot and then I release it after I run off this. That will kill the hopper that was over here. And then there's probably a way to time a shot so that it will work every time, but I haven't figured it out. So I just kind of spam shots, and usually it will open that door. And then what I do is I jump, and after I jump, I do an auto missile cancel. So this is one of those things where I move my left thumb off the D-pad over to select. And I do an item select on missiles. The reason I do that is so that we can quickly kill this CAC and collect his drop. And then what I do here is I jump up. I actually try not to get a clean ledge grab here. I like to be a little bit further in. I am bad at doing Blockbuster completely optimally, so I opt to lose like somewhere between 10 and 20 frames with the way that I try and do it. Because it's more consistent for me. So I'm going to talk about my setup. You saw I bonked the door there. There's so many things that can go wrong with this. So I'm just going to try and quickly talk through these. So shoot the missile when you land. You can just hold the shot if you did the auto deselect. If not, then you're going to need to shoot and then switch off of power bombs, because if you don't switch off of power bombs, you're going to X Factor. And then what I do, basically I do a one tap, so I don't hold dash this whole time. I release dash and then I repress it shortly after running. And then I release dash again, right around this plant, sometimes a little bit before. But basically, it's toward the end of the spikes. Okay, so I release dash right around here. Then you want to release your shot again towards the end of the platform, somewhere around here. You'll have running speed, so the shot will fly forward and will hit the door. And then, of course, you need to jump off. Now, that's another thing that will happen, and that happens if you jump before releasing the shoot button. I piano this room, and the way that I try to prevent the overlap of buttons happening is I like tilt my finger upward so that it's more like more vertical as opposed to kind of flat on the controller, so that my finger kind of slides off of the first button before it pushes the next button. But again, that's just with my own button layout. Like, this is going to change depending on what your button layout is. I jumped too early there. So like that was all really good except that I jumped too early. If you have too much speed, you're going to bonk this door. So that's why it's important to release dash. And to release your shot early enough. By the way, this trick is way, way, way easier if you have Spazer. Because it'll hit the door much earlier. So, I wish I had better things to say about this. It's still something that I miss fairly frequently in runs. Assuming that you get it, just hold forward. That is Blockbuster, it'll break those blocks. If you don't get it, lay a bomb and do a quick drop through the platform. Either way, you want to do an unmorph, just like when we were coming down here before. Down, back, and shoot down. Wave beam will break both of these blocks. And then this is more or less the same as when I explained it earlier in the run, except that now we have speed and high jump. So either you're going to want to plan on jumping low into the water, shooting this scree and doing a deboost. I'll show both strats. They're about the same speed in my testing. So like this, or you want to run back to the left and go through the room like that. Okay, I usually opt to go left because it's easier, and like I said, they're about the same speed. I'm guessing if one of them is optimal, it's probably the one where you run in and jump in the water. But yeah. From there, so you want to still be holding a shot when you come in this door and then release it. So you can hear she's charging a shot, so you know she has a shot still primed. If you release shoot, then she'll automatically shoot it coming out of this door. That will hit that cack. You want to jump across and shoot the cack again. Select power bombs. Jump morph through this door. And then you want to lay your power bomb as far left in this room as you can. Reason being, the trigger that makes the tank break is actually, it's right here. So when the bomb reaches this tile, that's what will trigger the tank breaking. So if you lay it further over to the right, notice that it doesn't break until the bomb reaches the left side. if you lay it on the left, it breaks earlier. Tank will also not break until you have Samus execute an action, like turning, for example, or jumping. Shooting. I don't think angles do it. Angles don't do it. And if she's already running, that won't do it either. So it has to be a change in her movement state, basically. Conveniently, what this means is that we can face left when the bomb explodes, push right, and then hold jump, and that will buffer a spin jump up onto this platform. Okay? Just make sure you're not too far right or that will happen. From there, you want to shoot up, and then jump up. That will open the door. And then I select missiles prior to jumping through the door. I also do an angle up, which in theory can activate the door transition earlier, but also is important for this next room. As for this next room, we're going to talk about it next time, because that was where I was planning to end this segment of the tutorial, and this has gone way longer than I was planning on it. And there's a qualifier race coming up in 20 minutes. So, I hope that this has been helpful. And if you're watching on YouTube, sorry, but you're gonna have to wait for this strat until the next video. I've been pumping these out about once a week or so. I would like to get them out faster, especially since the tournament is underway, but that kind of depends on my free time and my mental capacity and stuff. So right now I'm feeling great. I could do another one of these tomorrow, for example, but we'll just have to see. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys watching, and thank you for all the good feedback about the tutorials. I'm glad that they're helping so many people. It will never happen, but I would love to see 100% become just as popular or more popular than any percent in the Super Metroid speedrunning scene someday. So yeah, I'm really glad that these are helping people and that so many people have been participating lately. With that, I'm going to just do a little bit more practice before the qualifier. I'm going to get up and stretch for a minute, and then I'm going to do the qualifier. So, thanks again.